March is Gambling Awareness Month. Anita and Chris are here tonight to tell us about the Way Back In. Thank you so much for coming in to see me.
Thank you for having us. Oh, I love the pun. Big pun guy.
Thank you. I worked on it all day.
Amazing. Perfect.
All right, Chris, we'll start with you. Tell me a little bit about what the Way Back In is.
Sure. So the Way Back In is primarily a long-term residential treatment center for all substance use disorders as well as gambling disorders. And what we really focus on is behavior. So we really help to get people back into the swing of things, to start living their lives in a functional manner that actually really gets them back geared toward living like a normal person again. What happens in addictions, people so often lose everything and they lose so much of those behaviors and start to jump into all of these other things that start to kind of dwindle their relationships and their lives and all the things that make them functional. Their money starts to dissipate, their love starts to dissipate, their passion and their kind of thrill for life dissipates. We really help to work to instill that back in them.
So the Way Back In is a pun as well. Because
it is. It's a way back into vitality in life
Yeah.
and to all of those fantastic things that people really want to live, to thrive.
Absolutely, and it's INN.
INN.
So
So
it's
it's
where
an
you're
in.
actually staying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And we try to rebuild those lives.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is really important. I mean, the amount of people who are struggling with some sort of addiction is, I feel like it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, especially after the
Epidemic.
last 3 years, absolutely. So knowing about options to get your life back together is huge.
Yeah. Especially long term, I would say there's a couple across the state, and we really are so grateful to work with the Illinois Department of Human Services Division of Substance Use Prevention and Recovery to see who all can to see who all can do that, because long term we kind of find after like 30 to 90 days those functions in your brain start to rewire, and those behaviors and all of those things that were kind of like going to the wayside start to solidify again in a positive way. So when you start to redirect, that long-term residential really helps people get back into it.
Awesome.
Yeah. We know a lot of the research kind of indicates that 90 days is really kind of optimal, but a lot of times, treatment can be outpatient or residential, or really kind of depends on what that person needs. And sometimes we don't recognize gambling as, kind of a disorder, and yet the state of Illinois did a long-term study, and HRIA, who did this study, kind of concluded that in Illinois, we know that there's about 700,000 people who are at risk, and about 400,000 people who do have a gambling use disorder. So all in all, we're looking at about 1 million people who will need some type of help.
Sure, and yeah, I wouldn't have thought to put that all under the same roof.
Right, because you're so good with these puns today, honestly, she's killing it.
But I wouldn't have, but that's awesome that there's more help out there, and you can, because an addiction of some sort, it doesn't really matter what the substance is when it comes to treating it, right?
Especially with the brain.
That is very true.
Yeah, what's happening inside in your brain and with that rewiring that I talked about, it's all really similar. So it doesn't matter if it's a substance or something that you're intaking or ingesting, or if it's a behavior like sex, gambling, shopping.
And this is why March is celebrated as Problem Gambling Awareness Month. About 20 years ago, and so this year we're celebrating our 20-year anniversary of it being kind of this holiday in recovery, just because we want to make sure that people are paying attention that there are other disorders, right? Often we only think like alcohol or maybe heroin, but there's other addictions that people face.
And with that month too, just quickly as well, since it's an awareness month, it's all about the hope and the recovery aspect, because so often we focus on the negative aspects of addiction. But for this kind of month, it lets people know that there actually is a light at the end of the tunnel, that there's something that you actually can do to get your life better.
All right, so tell me about the Are You Really Winning campaign.
So the Are You Really Winning campaign is through IDHS Super, and we're partnering with A5 Branding and Digital to create that sort of statewide educational awareness piece. So it lets people know not only what's in their area and what's across the state for that help, but also for loved ones who don't know how to help their loved one, even begin that conversation.
And so when you go to areyoureallywinning.com, you get information, resources. There's a screener on there that people can take to kind of see, like, do I not? Should I seek more help? Should I not? For families as well. And because it is a statewide campaign, we work for the Way Back In, which is one of the treatment providers. But within the state, there's about 25 providers now. And so we all work closely together, we all refer, and when you call 1-800-GAMBLER or go to areyoureallywinning.com, they will refer you to close GA meetings or close treatment services that are within your area.
That's great. It's an easy number to remember too, which is always important.
Yes.
Before we go, tell me about the art competition.
So the art competition is kind of geared toward what I was just talking about with that hope and that help and that light at the end of the tunnel, because art therapy really helps people in a different way when you come into treatment or in addiction, because you actually start to see that there's other ways to navigate what is so difficult. And we are able to get submissions up until I think April 12th.
Okay.
And anyone over the age of 21 can submit something. You don't even have to be good at art. You can be fantastic. You don't even have to be that good. But we want people from any spectrum of
passionate.
recovery.
Yeah.
Just be passionate. It could be a kid of a loved one who's struggling. Could be a father. Could be a mother. Could be anyone.
Cool. That's such a fun idea, and you're right. Like you got to use that energy you were using toward whatever for something else.
positive. Yeah.
And art's a good one.
And it is open to everybody.
Okay.
You know, kind of you can apply for free. So it is on a platform that's a free platform. You do not have to be in recovery or a person who knows anyone. You can just be very passionate or open-minded and just kind of want to represent what recovery and gambling use disorder means to you.
Cool. Where do we do all of that?
You can just go to areyoureallywinning.com and it'll pop up with the art section.
There's going to be a link there to the campaign, and you can go ahead and get more information. And then there is going to be a grand award, and we're going to have judges in May, and that's all the information that's on the website.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming in.
Thank
you.
you.
Coming up next, we sent Tamanique to Murphy's Pub and Grill to see if they're making the State Line's best fish, and then Aaron's here from State Line Kids to plan your spring break. We'll be right back.